Hello then. Stormy weather conditions still continuing across much of Western Europe. Let's take a look in a little more detail. You can see this plume of cloud that's spreading up, affecting parts of Spain, affecting the French Riviera, and it has brought some pretty intense thundery downpours. There's more to come as we move through Tuesday, affecting primarily northern parts of Spain, up across the French Riviera, towards the Alps and into Germany. So the southeastern half of the Mediterranean not looking too bad, relatively fine and settled. Temperatures still likely into the mid to high 20s, perhaps higher still. We'll see some sharp showers then through the French Riviera into northern Spain, not looking too bad further south into Gibraltar. Some sharper showers though into France, the Low Countries and Germany. Some of these heavy and thundery could bring some torrential downpours. Let's take a look at Wednesday in a little more detail. Those showers still set to continue, as you can see quite clearly. Slow improvement across Spain. We'll have a little more sunshine, a little more warmth to look out for here, but it stays pretty thundery across the French Riviera and a little bit further north. So we'll still run the risk of a few sharp showers into London and Paris, but I suspect Madrid and Rome will stay relatively dry, settled and sunny. Further east, it's a little more straightforward. There's a good deal of sunshine and heat to be found. Hello there. It's not unheard of, but it is pretty unusual to be talking about a storm that's developed as early as late May for North America. But that's what we've got. Storm Alberta, you can see quite clearly where it is, moving its way up through the Florida Panhandle. It will bring the potential for some flooding rains, some tornadic activity maybe, and even some torrential hail mixed in there as well. So that will continue to track its way steadily north over the next few days. On Monday, though, across that east coast through New York down into Washington, it's largely fine and quiet. A few sharp showers across the Rockies and into the northern plains. But further west of that, it looks as though for British Columbia, we'll see some showery outbreaks of rain, a little bit of fair weather cloud into Vancouver and Oregon. As for that west coast down through California, a northerly breeze. So despite it dry, settled and sunny, not quite as warm as it can be at this time of year. We're still looking at mid-60s. That's around 20 degrees perhaps for Los Angeles. Now, across that east coast, as I say, there is the potential for some of this really heavy rain. It's going to gradually stretch up into parts of Atlanta, Georgia and Nashville, Tennessee. So we will need to keep a close eye on that one. Some gusty winds associated with that heavy torrential rain as it arrives. So it stays pretty unsettled for Atlanta and Miami over the next few days, drier and a little bit warmer further north and east. Hello there. Heavy rain for Central America and western parts of the Caribbean. More on that in just a moment. But let's start off in South America, where there is a weather front that's moving its way into Chile. It's bringing some rain. It also brings some snow across the higher ground. At the same time as that continues to track eastwards, we'll see some heavy rain across the River Plate, affecting Buenos Aires in particular. Now, further north of that, some sharper showers across parts of Venezuela and Colombia, and the brighter, vibrant colours denoting those sharper showers here. Not looking too bad across much of Brazil. A good deal of fine, dry weather in the story. As you can see, 25 degrees, quite pleasant for Rio de Janeiro. There's that rain I was talking about into Buenos Aires. That'll continue for the next few days. And there's that snow to the higher ground into Chile. So let's take a look at the city forecast then, shall we? As you can see, Rio de Janeiro keeps the blue sky and the sunshine, but Buenos Aires will see the rain gradually easing as we move through the week. Now, not looking too bad across Mexico and for much of Central America, but as we move out of the Yucatan Peninsula into parts of the western half of the Caribbean, it does look as though Cuba, Jamaica, eventually into Haiti and the Dominican Republic will see some heavy rainfall. It's all tied in to Storm Alberta. So do expect some sharper showers. It does look as though the weather situation will improve across Kingston, Jamaica later on this week. Hello there. It's at this time of year we start talking about the arrival of the southwest monsoon. I just want to point out on this satellite picture, you can see this swathe of cloud just moving up towards Myanmar and also into western Thailand. That's where we are likely to see some very heavy rainfall over the next few days. But things a little bit quieter through Japan, across the Korean Peninsula and northern China. A few showers here. More intense showers perhaps south of Shanghai, down into Hong Kong. Some of these quite heavy, and they will bring a lot of rain in a short space of time. There's that heavy rain I pointed out into Myanmar, perhaps fringing with western Thailand. further south of that, usual heat of the day showers continue as well. So over the course of the next 4 or 5 days, it looks likely that the best of the sunshine will be in Beijing and also into Seoul towards the end of the week. Now, as for Australia, things are largely fine and quiet. We've got these weather fronts just moving through the bight. They'll bring a little bit of showery rain, perhaps into Victoria and to Tasmania as well. It's a largely dry story across New Zealand with a large high pressure really sitting across both islands at the moment, although there will be a fair amount of cloud over the next few days. So if we take a look at the city forecast here, you can see that cloud should break and will allow a little bit of sunshine to come through perhaps by Saturday afternoon. Take care. Hello there. It's that time of year that we start talking about the arrival of the southwest monsoon. If we take a look at the satellite picture, you can see quite clearly this plume of cloud that's just to the south of Sri Lanka. It's going to bring some heavy rain up through the Bay of Bengal towards West Thailand and into Myanmar. At the same time, we're seeing some heavier rain as well across that Kerala coastline. And don't forget the brighter, vibrant colours denoting the intensity of that rainfall. Further north and west, it's a different story. It's all about the heat at this time of year. We're likely to see those temperatures still in excess of the mid-40s, perhaps even higher. So if we zoom in a little bit further and a little bit further north up into Kazakhstan, here we'll see 17 degrees with cloudier skies, but there's some decent blue sky, sunshine and heat further south. And then we see those temperatures into the mid-40s across northern Pakistan and northwest India. Heavier rain across that Kerala coastline that we've already talked about, affecting the island of the Maldives as well. A few sharp showers perhaps into Sri Lanka, with the heaviest of the rain really affecting Myanmar. Just a few scattered showers into Bangladesh. Let's take a look at the city forecast over the next few days, and it stays pretty unsettled into Sri Lanka. We'll also see a few sharper showers into Bangladesh, I suspect, by the end of the week. Elsewhere, it's also always about the sunshine and the heat. Temperatures way in excess of 40 degrees plus. Take care. Hello there. A forecast for the Middle East coming up shortly, but let's start off in Africa, where things are relatively quiet. Even the shower activity close to the equator not as widespread or as severe as it has been just recently, but we'll still run the risk of the showers developing and travelling in that westerly direction as we go through the day. A little bit of fair weather cloud down to the south as showery rain eases away, but a quiet story here as well. Temperatures in the high teens, low 20s. Further north is where the heat is. The mid-30s not out of the question. It looks as though we will see a little more rain pushing into Cape Town through the week, and that is welcome news here as they are desperate for rain in that area, but it stays largely fine and dry in Johannesburg. But a good deal of dry, sunny weather and, as I say, a relatively quiet story. Now, we've got the remnants of a cyclone through the Middle East at the moment. It's further south. Most of the intense activity really across Iraq and moving through Georgia and into northern Iran. But here's the remnants of that cyclone, just a band of cloud and showery rain. It will drift its way steadily north and perhaps bring a few sharper showers into Saudi Arabia, but we're not expecting it to be too much of an issue. So the story then as we go through this week is largely fine, dry, settled, with that heat really starting to build.